So I'm sitting here driving, and I want to tell you guys just a little story, a different style story of why I think you should try to improve yourself. Alright, so if you don't know this about me, I have a stutter, and I've had a stutter my entire life, and it can really, like, if you've ever known anyone with a stutter, dude, it sucks. Like, you truly are not confident. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to talk to, it's hard to talk to girls, to the person you're attracted to, I should say. But anyway, I've got one, and I work to get over it. And I want to tell you guys how and why I think it fucking matters. So, my entire life I've had it, and up until about I was like 24, 25, it had been a big part of my life. Like, I was always not very confident because of it. So much so that I remember, dude, one of the most embarrassing days of my life was my senior year in college. I had to give a presentation, and it was like the last presentation I ever had to give, and I got up there and I stuttered my ass off, and I sweated my ass off, and I was embarrassed in front of my entire class. And the worst part is like, I had no reason to be. Dude, I had been going to class with those people for like 4 years, 3 years. They all knew me. I knew all of them, but I still got up there and freaked out, man. And it sucked. And I will never forget that my entire life. And so I was like, man, I just can't wait to be done with this, move on with my life. So I had been a trainer for about 5 years after that, and it was all going well. You know, all my clients were pretty respectful, and I did have a stutter throughout all that, but it was whatever. So then I get a job at a bank, and I'm working in the call center, and this is probably about 5 years ago. And wherever I go, like, based off my personality, people tend to joke around with me. You know, like, I have fun. People want me around. They want to talk to me. I'm usually a pretty popular guy where I work, and it's just my personality. So one day I'm working on the phone, and a little backstory, like, I was working with like people's IRAs and 401ks, and I knew in the back of my mind that when someone calls up and they're looking to get information about their 6-figure account, to hear someone be like, welcome to the Nicholas funds, they're like, most people are like, all right, that's just something that like this guy's dealing with. But in the back of their mind, they're kind of like, am I keeping my money in the right spot here? Like, this is a lot of money, you know? So I kind of knew that I either had to shape up or I was going to get fired. So one day my boss pulls me in, and he's like, Mike, do you think that you could lead these guys right now? And I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And he goes, okay, could you go out there right now, and lead them? And I was like, oh, like now? Oh yeah, no, definitely not. And he's like, well, why? And I was like, Rod, come on, man. Like, you hear me on the phone. I have a stutter. I can't be a manager and lead people if I'm stuttering all over the place. And I'll never forget this either. This guy says, Mike, my boss, who taught me everything I know about this job, had a stutter way worse than yours. 10 times worse. And he figured it out. And I was like, really? And then he goes, so I want to ask you, how old are you? And I was like, I'm like, you know, like 26. And he goes, and you've dealt with this your whole life, haven't you? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, if you think that you could lead people, don't you think you owe it to yourself to figure this shit out? Come on, man. And I was like, yeah. And I had never thought about it like that I was doing myself a disservice by just accepting what I had and just not even trying my hardest to get over what I have, you know? So from there on out, I said, he's right, dude. He's absolutely right. And I worked at it for the next 6 months, dude. I got my breathing under control. I learned how to basically like think before I speak, how to very calmly talk, how to slow it down a little bit. And then before I knew it, I didn't even have the stutter really. Oh, there it is. But So my point is, sometimes you like need to have someone to like give you that little pep talk, and like you don't even know what you don't know. So then over time I grew more confident, and next thing I know, I started to like want to improve myself in any way, shape, or form. I wanted to get in the best shape I could possibly get in. I wanted to read books. I wanted to get smart. I wanted to do all of that stuff, just improve myself, because I saw that it was possible. All right. And then, so how this all ties back to you is, let's say you are debating getting braces. You're debating going into the gym to sign up for training. You're debating going for that MBA. Let's say you're debating signing up for whatever it is. My advice to you, dude, is you have to go for it. You absolutely have to try. Because what happens is, let's say you do decide to do something. Okay, let's go with braces, all right? I did that too. After I learned how to stop stuttering, I was like, dude, do you know what else has been bothering you your entire life? Your teeth. Get those braces, fix them. And I did. And that was a 2-year process, maybe 18 months, I don't remember. But after that, I felt better, and I felt more confident in myself, and I wanted to pursue more things. And then, so my point of all this, I guess, is if you're debating some little self-help thing or something to improve yourself, dude, you got to go for it. You absolutely have to try, because even though, like, in a weird way, it's going to open up more doors. All right. Let's say you do decide to go to the gym. All right. And you start losing some weight. You become more confident. Maybe that leads to you being confident enough to speak up at work, to speak up in those meetings and say what you know, because you know what, you're feeling good. And then by you speaking up, that might lead to them saying, hey, this person really knows what they're talking about. And then maybe it sheds some light on the fact that maybe for that next promotion, you are next up. And that would have never happened if you didn't increase your self-confidence to go for it. You never know what snowball effect your decision is going to have. All right. So my advice for you, man, if you're debating anything you think is going to make you better, you got to go for it. You absolutely have to try. That's a long story, a long rant. So I'm on a road trip right now, so I got some time. If you watched to the end here, thank you so much. And yeah, I hope your 2023 is filled with high ambitions, man. Get this shit.